Psalm 62. Can you all see that?
Yes.
Yes.
This is going to be the King James Version. And I got this from Bible Gateway. And they actually have set up the chiastic structure for us. And I'm going to explain some of that a little bit later, but let me read through it. Well, the title will say, sorry. To the choir master, according to Jeduthun, a psalm of David. Truly my soul silently waits for God. From him comes my salvation. He only is my rock and my salvation. He is my defense. I shall not be greatly moved. How long will you attack me? You shall be slain, all of you, like a leaning wall and a tottering fence. They only consult to cast him down from his high position. They delight in lies. They bless with their mouth, but inwardly they curse. Selah. My soul waits silently for God alone, for my expectation is from him. He only is my rock and my salvation. He is my defense. I shall not be moved. In God is my salvation and my glory, the rock of my strength, and my refuge is in God. Trust in him at all times, you people. Pour out your heart before him. God is a refuge for us. Selah. Surely men of low degree are a vapor. Men of high degree are a lie. If they are weighed on the scales, they are altogether lighter than vapor. They do not trust in, do not trust in oppression, nor vainly hope in robbery. If riches increase, do not set your heart on them. God has spoken once. Twice I have heard this. That power belongs to God. Also to you, O Lord, belongs mercy, for you render to each one according to his work.
Amen.
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 All right, so whether it's a old bike or old car or something, or even a friend that you've had, a lifetime friend, we understand having something or someone you can always trust in when you need him. We all understand that concept. Amen.
Amen.
Right. Beloved, just a little background, little exegetical background. Some scholars relate Psalm 39, which also has the same heading, to the choir master, Jeduthun, and even Psalm 4, where it say to the choir master. It won't say Jeduthun, but to the choir master. It has the same style.
Right.
And even though there's no historical event in the heading of this, this psalm, whether David wrote it himself, it's definitely in the style of David. And the scholars believe around the time when Absalom was trying to take over his father's kingdom.
Okay.
And Absalom's betrayal was based on lies. And whatever the scenario, the psalmist's enemies, whatever scenario here, the psalmist's enemies are lying. We see that in the text. And they actually really smiled in his face, and all the time they was trying to take his place.
Oh, man.
Y'all know the end to that, the backstab. I ain't the only one, an OJ fan on it. The backstabbers, right? Well, about realizing this, person or persons, places or things that we have all deemed reliable. When we're betrayed by them, it's the trust that's betrayed.
Mhm.
And beloved, this can be very troubling to our souls.
Mhm.
Right.
Our souls can be, flipped in a second. You know, we could be, like Pastor was saying in the beginning, we could start out good and then all of a sudden something happens and now we're having a bad day.
Right. Right.
You know, cursing people out and stuff. Y'all know what I'm snapping on folks. And, yeah, we having a bad day, and it's because when that happens, we forget that this is the day that the Lord has made.
Mhm. In a second.
That He's in control.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that reliability that the psalmist is going to tap into.
Okay.
He's gonna tap into God's reliability.
Yeah.
That's what he's gonna tap into. Let me help you out. Let me drive down your street. Let's say you got to go to court for a traffic ticket downtown Chicago. And you don't want to drive down there because you know the traffic's gonna be ridiculous. You don't want to take a chance to be late because you know if you're late, that ticket's gonna double. Right? So what's $100 gonna be $200, just like that. So you actually need a car that's gonna make it down there, and you need someone that's gonna drive you that's reliable.
Yeah.
Right.
So you're gonna start to search your mind for that reliable person with that reliable car.
Mhm.
You're gonna search your mind. Now watch this. When you find it, like your mind is going do. When you find it, then according to that person's resume, your soul will be quieted about the whole thing.
Right.
That's what the psalmist is talking about. It doesn't mean that you don't have to go to court.
True.
Right? That stress is still there. But what it means is because the person that you've chosen is reliable.
Mhm.
It has a reliable vehicle. Now your soul can be at rest,
Yeah.
quieted.
Yeah. Good analogy.
Yeah.
Right?
Mhm.
So let me start off by saying the what of this song. The what of this song is silence. That's the what. If you're gonna ask that question, what is it that he's talking about? It's talking about silence.
Okay.
Right? Okay, so the who or the who's the who plural is God, the psalmist, or rather his soul, the wicked, and the people of God.
Mhm.
Right.
The where's this all taking place? Is the soul.
Okay.
That's where it's taking place. And the when is now.
All right.
So look at verse 3 again. How long will you attack a man? I'll stop right there for a second. This is he's talking in the present tense. This is happening right now.
Mm.
It's happening right now. So this is about what do you do when it's happening right now? When You're trying to find quietness for your soul
My Lord, my Lord.
in the midst of a storm.
Mm.
You're trying to find that quietness. Well, I love this chiastic structure, because this chiastic structure really helps us to hone in on the contrast that the psalmist is trying to show us. If you see how it starts out with 1A, and it says starts out with 1A, and then it goes inward to 1B and then 1C. Then it kind of starts to even out, and you have verses 3, 4, and 4. Then it goes back out, to with verse 5, and then back in with 6, and then then you have that narrow section. You see the structure? Everybody see that structure?
Roll down. We only see the first part.
Okay, let me roll it down. See that? See that structure?
Okay.
I'm pointing right here. You all see it? I'm circling it.
Mm-hmm.
And then this.
Yes.
See those? Okay, that's because he wants us to see that, right? He really wants us to take a look at that. And what he wants us to take a look at is the unreliability of man
Okay.
versus the reliability of God.
Mm.
Right.
The unreliability, because even with this person that's taking you to court, something still can happen,
That's true.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So only God is truly reliable.
Right.
That's what the psalmist is saying.
Yeah.
Only truly reliable. So let's look at these wicked men. Let's look at their unreliability, okay? And what makes them unreliable.
Okay.
Now, this is not a rhetorical question. This is how I want to get you all involved. Looking at verses 3 and 4, what makes these guys 3 and 4? Also, you can look at verses 9 and 10. What makes them unreliable?
There's a leaning wall, a shaky fence. They're unstable.
Unstable, okay. They're also attacking him.
Oh, they're attacking him.
Yeah, and they're unstable. You're right. What else? Verse 4.
They lie.
Right, they're liars. Right? And they're trying to they're trying to take his place.
Yeah.
And they take pleasure in lying.
Huh?
They take pleasure in the falsehood of the lies.
Yes, they take pleasure in it. Right?
Mm-hmm.
They bless with their mouth,
But don't really mean it.
don't really mean it. They say things with their mouth and they don't really mean it.
Right.
Now it's very obvious, but sometimes people can do this stuff and they're your friends.
Wishing bad on them.
They're your friends.
Mm-hmm.
They make promises and stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
And very easily just dismiss it
Mhm.
like it's nothing. That's part of their characteristic. Look at verse 9. What makes them so unreliable? They're unreliable. Verses 3 and 4. You see, they're unreliable. What makes them unreliable in 9 and 10 is that they're like a vapor. Men of high degree are alive. Their very lives is a delusion. That's what he's saying here.
Wow.
Poetic way. He's saying their very life is delusion.
Mm. Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
When I was going away on my staycation, one of the shows that helped me get through that was Seinfeld.
Mhm.
And laughter is good. So Seinfeld, and I always tell them what really cracked me up is that they would go to Kramer for advice. If you ever watch that show, Kramer is an idiot, right? And they're going to him for advice, and they're relying on him. It's like he has every reason. There's every reason there not to rely on him,
Mhm.
and they're relying on him, right? Every reason there,
Right.
right? His life is nothing but a lie and a delusion, right?
Make it up as you go along.
Making it up as yeah. So says that 9b, if they are weighed on the scales, they are altogether lighter than vapor. They only have, their lives don't have any weight to it.
Right. That's right.
Doesn't have any weight. They're vain. And look, watch this. And they put their trust. Look what they're putting their trust in. Verse 10. They put their trust in robbery,
Mm.
Right.
extortion,
Right.
listen, you thinking criminals. You thinking criminals. This could be our government, y'all.
Right.
Mhm.
I know y'all thinking right away, extortion, oh, these guys, this could be our government.
Right.
Now, this is a psalm in the style of David when Absalom was trying to take over. You
Right.
think Absalom, he had got popular. The people,
Yeah.
the people that were following him loved him.
Yeah.
Right. Right. That's right.
Dude. He had stole the throne.
Right.
You think the people thought Absalom was a criminal?
No.
They didn't think he was a criminal.
Right.
Let me give you a window to look through. This is your government, our government.
Yeah.
Things that we used to be able to trust.
Right.
Right.
That's what he's saying here. This is not some like little white lie somebody told you.
Right. Right.
This is huge.
Right.
But just like they're unreliable, and we see why they're unreliable, we also shows us why God is reliable.
Mhm.
Verse 1. Truly my soul silently waits for God. From him comes, why? From him comes my salvation.
Yeah.
He only is my rock and my salvation. He
Only.
is my defense.
Right.
I shall not be greatly moved. Now listen, I want to say something about that. He is not saying that he's not moved at all. Listen.
Right.
If you wake up one morning and you find out that something has happened, someone has stole your identity.
Right.
That's happened.
Someone has stole your identity and all your money, your $20,000 you had in the bank and everything else that you look at every day and smile, that somebody has stole that money
Mhm.
and it's gone.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something, your soul ain't quiet.
Right. That's right.
You're gonna need an anchor.
Yeah.
See, you're gonna need an anchor because your soul ain't quiet right now.
Yeah.
Not at all.
You're gonna respond emotionally. You're gonna snap on some people on the phone. Whoever in the house, they ain't gonna have no good day either.
Amen.
And
Amen.
nobody gonna have no good day
Right.
behind that.
That's right.
Your soul has to be anchored. That's when you look and you say, and that's what the psalmist is doing. He says, my soul is able to be quiet with God. That's what he's saying.
Right.
Because why? Because God is reliable.
Yes.
He's the only one truly reliable.
Amen.
That's why he starts using words like my rock.
Yeah.
Listen, a rock was reliable. It was a hammer. It was a weapon. It slayed Goliath.
Sure enough.
Right.
He is my defense. And notice the possession. My.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I love this chiastic structure because what it shows you is when you get to verse 5, it's going to show you some nuances.
Okay.
Here in verse 5, it's not just a simple repetition of verse 1. He says, now my soul, he's talking to his soul.
Right.
Verse 1, he made a general statement. That's true, right? Here, he's talking to his soul. My soul waits silently for God alone.
Mm-hmm.
For my expectation is from him.
Yeah.
He's going to increase. Watch this. He only is my rock
Yes.
and my salvation. He is my defense. Now look at this confidence now. This increase in confidence. I shall not be moved.
Mm.
Right.
Mm.
I shall not be moved.
That's right.
Right.
Watch this. In God is my salvation and my
Mhm.
glory.
Mm-hmm.
In God is my salvation and my glory. That's why he won't be moved. God has a perfect track record.
Yes.
Right.
The rock of my strength
Amen.
and my refuge
Right.
is in God. Listen. I'm going to tell you a story so you can really catch this. Back in the 80s, I used to go over to the Dearborn homes on 51st and Federal. 54th and Federal. Robert Taylor homes, I'm sorry.
Okay.
I would go over there, and that's where I would buy my, stuff that you couldn't buy in the regular store. Street pharmacists.
Okay.
So I had my hat cocked to the right.
Oops.
Now, when your hat cocked to the right, y'all, for those of y'all Chicagoans, that means you're a GD.
Right.
But the building I was going to was Stones.
Mm.
Federal was Stones. So I come off the elevator, and as soon as I step off, this little boy snatched my hat off my head and ran. It was one of those snakeskin hats.
Uh-oh.
Cost about $100-something.
Mm.
I chased the little boy up the projects, not thinking, after my hat. When I came back down, I couldn't find him, but when I came back down, it was a mob waiting on me.
Mm.
This is the honest God truth.
Mm.
So I come off and I make a right and I start walking differently. I got about 7 steps. You'd be surprised what you think of. I got about 7 steps away before they realize, there go that nigga. So I'm running now. I'm breaking because I live on 51st. So I'm breaking and I'm running down the backside of the Robert Taylor home. I'm running down the alley and I'm running. Every time I run past a building, some little Negroes come out chasing.
Mm.
It was the most scary, one of the scariest things. So I'm like, and I'm talking about they on me, and I'm out of breath, and I'm running. By the time I get to 51st, almost the 51st, I can see a police car.
Mm.
It was my refuge.
Right.
Trying to help you. Trying to help you out. It was my rock of safety.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
It was a place where they couldn't reach you.
Okay.
Right.
That's what the psalmist talking about.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
If I could make it there.
Yeah.
See, I knew when I saw it, even though my body I was out of wind, I was almost falling down.
Yeah.
When I saw that police car
Mm-hmm.
at that time, maybe not today, but at that time,
Right.
it was a place of refuge.
Mm.
Yes.
Yes, it was.
That's what the psalmist is talking about.
Mm.
That
Yeah.
that it was look. I turned around and they was gone.
Mm. Yeah.
Watch this.
They saw it too.
Now watch this. It's real powerful, y'all. It's real powerful. The enemy is watching the psalmist trust God.
Yeah.
Yes.
You hear me? He's watching the psalmist trust God.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's powerful
Mm-hmm.
because he's not the only one that's watching.
Mm-hmm.
The
Yeah.
people of God are watching.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
The people of God, the enemies and the people of God,
Yeah.
are watching you trust God.
That's right.
It's bigger than you.
Mm.
It's an opportunity
Yeah.
to show how you trust him.
Yeah. Yeah.
Watch this. I got a different shepherd,
Right.
but I'm looking at how good your shepherd is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think I want to switch shepherds.
All right.
Right.
That's what God is doing.
Mm.
Thing is, can he trust me to trust him so that others can see it?
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Right. Right. Right.
It's not a time for my soul to be disquieted.
Mm.
It's an opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
An opportunity.
Yeah.
Listen to what he says. He's talking to the people, verses 6, 7, and 8. He only is my rock and my salvation. He is my defense. I shall not be moved. In God is my salvation and my glory.
Mm-hmm.
The rock of my strength and my refuge is in God. This is what he tells people. Trust in him at all times.
Mm-hmm.
Pour out your heart before him.
Yes.
God is a refuge for us.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
See, I'm showing you here.
Yeah.
Right.
This is how you anchor your soul.
Yeah.
The winds are going to blow. The pillars are going to roll.
Oh, yeah.
But your soul, my
Yeah.
soul has to be anchored.
Yes, yes. Amen.
Yeah.
It has to be anchored. And he says, Selah. Think about that. Selah. I love verse 10b.
Okay.
Says, a lot of wisdom in this, y'all. If riches increase, don't you set your heart on them.
Mm.
That's right.
All right.
See, because that's the competition in our heart, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's the competition. We trust money, y'all. Come on.
Yes, we
Right.
do. Yes, we do.
We've been taught to trust in that.
Yes.
Right.
We are spoiled, and I told this story before. I don't know if I told it to you all, but I told this before when I preached before. There was a church, one of those mega churches, and they had missionaries going over to Africa, and they brought back a convert, a new Christian, and they brought him back to the community for a summer. And so, he was, he might stay with one family a month, another family a month, and all members of this church. And so they asked him, would you like to stay and become a foreign exchange student? And he said, no, I think I'll go back. He says, you guys have it too good over here. He says, I'm afraid that I will learn not to rely on God.
Mm.
Wow.
And he went back to his country.
Mm.
We rely on a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff that's in competition.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But for our hearts, that God is in competition for our household.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of stuff. But he concludes very powerfully.
Mhm.
This is the point. That's why I love when I can find these chiastic structures, because this is the point of the whole song right here. He says, verse 11, God has spoken once, twice I have heard this. Now, he's not talking about God speaking just one time or him just hearing it twice. What he's talking about here, it's a poetic way of saying, I've heard this frequently.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard it frequently. What is it? That power belongs to God.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
Amen.
Also to you, O Lord, belong mercy.
Mm-hmm.
For you render to each one according to his work.
That's right.
And I love how Eugene Peterson puts it in the Message. He says that God pays a fair wage for a good day's work.
Right.
A fair wage for a good day's work. That's his conclusion. That power belongs to God.
Yes.
Yeah.
So all power belongs to God. Put your trust in him.
Mhm.
And if you mess up, all mercy belongs to him too.
That's right.
Amen.
That's right.
That's wisdom. Very proverbial. Doesn't it sound like that? God has spoken once. Twice I have heard this. Sound like a proverb.
Yeah.
A lot of wisdom in it. I've
Right.
heard it frequently. And I need to hear it again.
Yeah.
I need to hear it again.
Yes.
Man.
Yeah.
Because when my soul gets shaken up a little bit,
Oh, yeah.
I need to be anchored.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I know.
Let me ask you, just throwing it out there. For David and those guys, a rock and a fortress and a refuge, those were all symbols for them, things that they deemed reliable, symbols for them of God's character and his strength.
Yeah.
What about you? What's the contemporary way of looking? Like, I look out my window and there's this oak tree, this old oak tree,
Mm-hmm.
and it ain't going nowhere. It's steady. It's always gonna be there. provides homes for the squirrels and the birds. I
Right.
often see like little treats like canaries.
Mm.
I'll see a cardinal, a red cardinal. I've seen rare birds come to that tree and everything else, and just a solid old tree. And for me, God is like that tree.
Hmm.
Right.
He's my tree.
It's all right.
So I encourage you to, because it helps you, to see this. So when I go on my balcony sometimes, and it's early and I'm out there and I'm praying, I'm looking at this tree. I'm reminded of God's faithfulness and strength, and how he's a source of life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and so I encourage you to do the same.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's all I got, Pastor.
All right.
Amen.
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 Listen, I want to do something. Slightly different in light of what Rev has said and taught this morning. I want to give you all an opportunity to voice how you've contextualized the sermon. One of the major things that he dealt with in his sermon. This is an important thing. Is the noisiness of the soul, in trying times that soul can be noisy,
Sure enough.
right? And you know it because even when your mouth is not moving, there's this noise, right? It may keep you up. Keep you from sleeping well. It may affect how you deal with people. Where I've talked about how other people start having bad days because you're having this bad day because you got this noisiness of your soul that's in your ear. And in a major role of that. A major function of that is to distract. It is there to distract you from the reliability of God.
Yeah.
So I want to give you all. I want to give maybe a couple of people who can just some things that may have stood out, and as you've wrestled with that, and just give you some time to talk about that and talk out that and to contextualize that. If anybody wants to talk about that.